Hello, guys. You have to excuse me. I just woke up. It's like 2 p.m. I don't know how the hell I was asleep for so long. Uh, I want to get this video as soon as possible, so this is my little caffeine, my little routine that I'm going to be drinking throughout this. It's Mountain Dew, which I know, fucking cliche, right? Fat white guy Mountain Dew, but I like it. So no judging. So, God damn. I wanted to make a video about the recent events that happened just a few days ago. I did, but looking back on it, guys, it was very vitriolic, which a lot of my rants are, but this was even more so. I was calling for a civil war, you know, and it was ridiculous. It took 3 videos for me to get everything out, and I was just like, there's no fucking way I'm doing this. There's no way I'm uploading this only because 3 videos basically saying the same goddamn thing is not. It wouldn't get me any views or really serve any other purpose other than just to be annoying. So I just decided to scrap them and make this new one. But I also wanted to see what the response would be to today's topic. That is Charlie Kirk's assassination. I think, suffice to say, I am absolutely horrified that this has happened. Political assassinations, always the worst because they're not about someone wronging another person or, somebody doing something to another person, somebody stealing somebody else's wife or whatever. It's not a personal thing. It's political. It's someone using their words and you not liking them. It's horrible. It's horrible? Jesus Christ. Like I said, I just woke up. It's horrible. Because it's simply you kill that person because of their ideals, which is so against every right American has. Okay, maybe not the right to bear arms, but every other right goes against that. The reason I wanted to make this video a few days after the fact is not because, again, my first one was very angry, very rage-filled, very violent. And I wanted to calm down. I wanted to fucking calm down. I still feel that anger. I still feel grief for what happened because even if I didn't agree with everything he says, Charlie Kirk was one of those Republicans that I could actually respect. He used his words, he used debates, he never was violent, which is such a rarity. You'd be surprised. It's horrible. It's just what the man that killed him did is monstrous. Guys, I'm going to pause the video and sort of get my thoughts together. So, you're going to see a skip, but just give me a second. Sorry for the skip there, guys. Anyway, let's get on to what exactly happened at the event in Utah. So, Charlie Kirk was holding a debate at the University of Utah. He was about to get into a debate with somebody about trans mass murderers when suddenly a bullet hit his neck. The person who killed him went away like a coward, obviously thinking he had done the world some sort of justice, which he couldn't have been more wrong about. Obviously, everybody ran away in the chaos. Police looked for the man who killed Charlie Kirk. And yeah, it's hard to talk about this. I'll say that much. Well, the next day, the police get a call from the killer's father, who managed to identify him from camera footage. At least that's what most news outlets are going for. Some of them are saying that the dude confessed to his father, which is just bullshit to me, because this man didn't know Charlie Kirk. Much like any other people on Blue Sky and Reddit, this man labeled Charlie Kirk as a homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic bigot, which is not the truth in the slightest. Charlie loved his family, he loved America, he loved a lot of other people. I'm probably reiterating something. Sorry. I just feel like it's necessary to say that because it's horrifying again what happened. But police, after they catch the man and then go to where the shooting took place, they find a Mauser rifle and an engraved bullet. It says, "Catch this, bigot." This is a tragedy on par with JFK and Martin Luther King Jr., in my opinion, because Charlie used his words. He understood that words have power. He understood that the way to get to people's hearts was not by violence or subjugation or suppression or censorship. It was by talking to people, debating them, making them think about their ideals a little more and whether they were worth keeping up with. And there were people celebrating his death. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's hard not to in this case. A day after the dude was caught, the Senate, the House of Representatives, they all wanted a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. And do you want to know what happened? The Democrats didn't let it happen. They immediately tried to make it about some fucking gun control shit, which is not even the point. That's not the reason why Charlie Kirk was killed, but they tried to make it into a political thing immediately. And sensitive is not strong enough a word to describe how truly evil these people are for trying to say it is not the fault of Tyler Robinson, but rather the fact that he had a gun. How absolutely retarded do you have to be to believe that? The whole reason this happened, the only reason that this happened, is because the Democratic Party has allowed their own members to become more and more and more extremist. To the point where we are finding stories of people from the trans community. So a community that was actually well respected at one point and accepted. But because of their own actions, like the death of Charlie Kirk and the shooting of a Catholic school by members of their own community, they are no longer well respected because of these events, because they celebrate these events, these horrible, awful events. And you saw people getting arrested for disrupting vigils. You saw people stomping on Charlie Kirk's flowers. Thankfully, that guy got arrested for disorderly conduct and assault. I don't even know what to say, like, right now. Like, there's not a word strong enough to really get through how evil, how absolutely evil these people are. I can understand being angry because you're suddenly not fucking top of the goddamn mountain. I can understand being upset when you feel your rights are being violated. But you're celebrating the fact that one of your own trans people, that one of your own committed such a heinous act. In my opinion, if you celebrate political assassinations of any kind, doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat, Independent, doesn't matter. If you celebrate that, you deserve to get shot as well. You deserve to burn in fucking napalm. And you know what? Ultimately, LGBTQ people and Democrats, you lose. Because already there are several people on the left getting fired from their jobs for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Like the woman from Home Depot who refused to print a simple poster of Charlie for a vigil because of the fact that she considered it propaganda. Which, by the way, I want to point out something. Home Depot had no problem printing out BLM posters when that was a thing. I know, because when I have a friend who was a part of that movement who got those posters fucking printed at Home Depot. So, I know for a fact you can print propaganda, quotation marks, at Home Depot. There are people calling for Charlie Kirk's family to be killed, which, again, you deserve to burn in napalm if you think that. What is there to say other than the fact that, oh, you know what? Actually, one good thing that came of all this, it has spurred the UK into action where they're not dealing, where a march of 1 million people in the UK sorry about that. Some jackass was at the door saying he's part of a Spanish mission. Anyway, it spurred the UK to action. And of course, a lot of people in the UK say it's like, oh, this is the most racist thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. Nothing racist about having a protest. And it's just, it spurred Japan to action. It spurred many people to action. Protests are erupting across the world in the wake of this. And it's good to see. It's good to see that people are finally sick of this extreme. It would be, here's the thing. It'd be fine if it was moderate left, right? If it was moderate Democrats, you'd be fine. But it's not. There's people like Biden, he'd be fine, but it's not. Okay, the UK, Japan has been ruled by extreme liberals for several years now, and people are absolutely fucking sick of it. And Charlie Kirk being killed was the match that's lit the fuse. It's nice to see. It really is to me, because it shows that people are absolutely sick of being told that they're scum simply for being like white, or they're scum for their beliefs, or they're scum simply for existing. And it's just here in the US, it's nice to see that there's a lot of companies that have integrity. Because I'll tell you something here right now, folks. The reason these people are getting fired is not because of their beliefs, it's because they work for a company. When you work for Home Depot, you represent Home Depot. When you work for Target, you represent Target. When you work for Walmart, you represent Walmart. So when you start saying shit like, hey, guess what? I think Charlie Kirk being killed was a good thing. May he rot in hell. You get fired. That's the, okay? Because they don't want people like you who are extremists to work at their companies. Because those businesses, ultimately, like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, ultimately, they cater to everybody. It's the reason why at Walmart you'll sometimes find a, Biden fucking display next to a Trump one in the clothing section. It's because of the fact that they serve everyone. Guess what happens if they piss off one group over the other? They lose millions upon millions of customers at several thousand stores. So it has nothing to do with their beliefs or free speech. It's the fact that when you signed your name on the dotted line to be hired by this fucking company, you basically signed away your right to say whatever the fuck you want. It's one of the reasons why whenever I work in retail, I adopt a professional mask. I've worked with every sort of belief there is. I've even worked with a fucking Satanist. Do you know why I was able to work with that Satanist? Why I'm able to work with extremist people? Is because I tell them straight up my beliefs front and center. And I say, I have no problem working with you in a professional setting. And most people, they respect that. Most people, they absolutely respect that. But when one doesn't, I simply say, okay, well, if you don't want to work together with me, we can go to the manager and we can see if we can be transferred somewhere else. Okay? People need to be professional with this kind of shit. They cannot be making their opinions on this known because their employers are going to see it. And other people are going to see it who are going to report it to your employers. Like that fucking Home Depot lady. That dude took a video of her basically being a fucking bitch. And refusing to print something based on a rule that didn't even exist. So that's the reason why people are getting fired on the left, is because they keep making these fucking posts. And then making these videos like, oh my god, I just got fired. What the fuck? You got fired because you're a fucking idiot. You got fired because you decided to post an extremist opinion while you're working for somebody who can't afford to have an extremist working for them. Brand perception, people. Professionalism. That's the name of the game with these companies, and that's why so many people who have expressed joy at Charlie Kirk's death have been fucking fired. And I doubt, quite frankly, that they're ever going to get a job again. Okay, I'm not going to say that. Most of them probably won't get a job again. It's just fucking ridiculous to me. If you approve of Charlie Kirk's death, if you approve of his assassin, you should burn in fucking hell. Okay? You should burn in fucking hell. That's exactly where you're gonna fucking go if it exists. I'm an atheist, but I'm also open-minded. Exactly where you're gonna go, if it exists, is hell. That's where Tyler Robinson's gonna go for sure, if it exists. Go straight into the fucking circle for fucking rage. I don't know what else to say at this point. My condolences, quite frankly, to his family and to his wife and kids. My condemnation for the creators of Blue Sky and Reddit for allowing such extremist rhetoric to be allowed on their platforms. And my condemnation to the Democrat Party for allowing it to happen and not policing any of it. It makes me sick how America is. And quite frankly, guys, if this keeps up, I'm no longer going to be an independent. I will register myself as a Republican. Because I cannot stand by a party that would just allow shit like this to happen. And not only allow shit like this to happen, but also try to make it seem like, try to use the situation for political gain. It's crazy the way America is nowadays. And you know what? It needs to be fucking fixed sooner than later. Anyway, that's about all I gotta say on the matter. You guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell. And, you know what? Same thing with last video. If you think I'm a piece of shit for not supporting Charlie Kirk's killer, you go fuck yourself. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.